gentlemen, welcome back to TRACKILICIOUS. We are here again on a Thursday night for our iRacing Multiclass Championship Round 2 at my favorite Road Atlanta. Really excited. We're held back a little bit by all the updates that were happening in the background with iRacing, but we are here. The LMP2s have already gone out and qualified, and now the GT3s are out there. So without further ado, let's get right into the action. The action, which you should be able to see. There we go. Transition that into there. Little problems today. Hopefully we're gonna only have little problems. How is the voice? How are the audio? Quick check. It's Cello. Welcome. Doc Bill, we hope you're doing well. The legend in chat. And we have the likes of Jordan Smith on provisional pole as we speak in the Lamborghini. 4/10 in hand to Kerry Davidson. That is quite the pace for Jordan Smith. Voice and audio is nice. That is exactly what I like to hear. Dark, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So we have, oh my goodness, we have 45 cars on the grid today, and P1 provisionally currently with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the session. Jordan Smith, top of the charts for the GT3s. While we wait for them to continue going around as we follow Jordan's lovely Lamborghini here, call out what the LMP2 field looks like. William Day taking pole in the first 10 minutes of the session here. Ross O'Connor in P2, Brandon Vincent Squibb in 3, Cody Wasson in 4, Jacob Cunningham in 5, Josh Willis 6, Andy Sharp, aka El Taco Man, coming in 7th, Chris McNichol in 8th, Adam King in 9th, Brad Severs in 10th, Henrik Tejera in 11th, Matt Hughes number 12, DeMarcus Rogers 13, Ethan Reed number 3, 14, Bronson Turner 15, Jeff Dallas 16, Miguel Astiazaran in 17, Morgan Stringer in 18, Rick Wolf in 19, and closing off the field is Glenn Peno in number 20. A 20-car LMP2 grid is what these drivers will have to be defending against, basically. Not in the literal sense of actually defending, but trying to minimize the loss as the faster cars come through the field. We have 20 LMP2 cars, 21 LMP2s, 24 GT3s. What a field. That is absolutely fantastic. And we have the likes of Jose Sierra on the field right now in P3 as it stands in the Acura, trying to figure out if there's any improvement to be had. 3/10 of the car ahead, a 10.5 the car behind, and then 5/10 to P1, looking for an improvement. Going through turn 1, going through the S's now, turn 2, 3, and 4 here. Lovely complex of corners, huge dip into the S's and coming back out, which apparently none of these are corners as they're numbered on the chart. T5 exit, lots of bumps out there, but you really got to go wide to carry the speed onto this relatively long straight. Dip down, come back up into T6, sharp right-hander, and another right going on to the longest straight of the race, which actually used to be even longer before they added the chicane, which really made the final corner incredibly fast and scary, and hence the addition of the 10A and B chicane, as we see the likes of Jose A. Sierra going through the final bit of the track here. 10A, the left-hander, 10B, the right, maximize the exit, put the power down, manage the elevation change there, down into the final corner of turn 12 and onto the start finish straight, and takes pole No, does not take pole. It's actually dropped down to P4 effectively. Goodness. It is definitely going to be a tight battle here today. Many cars to look for. Andrew Pickerel on the field, looking for improvements. Seemingly the highest iRating driver in the GT3s with a 3400, 3.4K. Second overall, actually, to Ross O'Connor's 5K, taking P2 in the LMP2s. Super exciting. How's everybody in chat doing? What have you folks been up to? What is new? Nope, I see that we have some stuff going on here. Let's turn that webcam off real quick. Alrighty. Here we go. Pickerel looking for an improvement as well. Has quite a bit of work to do. 7/10 to P1. It's a tall order in his final lap of the session here. Is he going to be able to do anything? Luke Wallace, thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well. Supporting Ross O'Connor, currently in P2 in the LMP2s, as we see Andrew Pickerel going through, not finding any improvement. Right behind Curtis Rederath. Luke, what do you drive? Are you an iRacing person as well? Is that what you mean? Clearly you do some racing, as we can tell. So yeah, what do you drive? And is this Hyperion Blue, is that a suggestion of a team that you're in potentially? That's the end for that. Goupel coming through, not finding much. Widener still on track, looking for improvement as well. Looks like he's currently 12th overall in the GT3s. A student's driver, apparently. Just here to support Ross. This 16 Racing, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. We are about to get started in our fantastic multi-class championship. Round 2 here at Road Atlanta. As Widener does not find improvement. And we get ready to grid up here in Georgia. GT3 McLaren. And 720. Oh, the 720, yeah, of course. Cool. All right, let's see if we can actually do this thing before the time runs out as everybody starts gridding. William Day not on the grid yet in P1 in the LMP2s. Ross O'Connor, the fan favorite as it stands in P2, looking for improvements for sure. Let's see if he's going to be able to find it. We have Brandon Vincent Squibb in P3, Cody Wassam in P4, Jacob Cunningham in P5, Josh Willis in P6, Andy Sharp in P7, Chris McNichol 8, Adam King 9, Sievers 10, Henrique Tijera 11. We have Matt Hugh in 13. Marcus Rogers in 14. Sorry, Marcus Rogers in 13. Ethan Reed in 14. If we can read numbers, that would be absolutely fantastic. Bronson Turner 15. Jeff Dallas 16. Miguel Asiazaran in 17, Morgan Stringer 18, Rick Wolf 19, Pinio and 20 in the Delara, Travell Ike number 2 and 21, and that rounds off the LMP2 grid. We now have the GT3s with Jordan Smith in pole position, Kieran Davidson in P2, Will Brunner in P3, Jose A. Sierra in P4, Curtis Rederath in P5, Andrew Pickerel 6, Joel Bandera 7, Peter Lattis in 8th, Quadruple 9, Cisco Rodriguez in 10th, Zachary Flatt 11, Joseph Widener 12th, Jiham Cardi, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I would love a correction, and 13, Parker Standard in 14, Kamal Kaitazovic aka Kimosith in stream in Twitch in 15, Forster 16, Gross 17, Muffet in 18, Tomazic 19, Frank Manarino 18, Joe Hawkness 19, Wade Georgeson, now Tyler has got me all messed up. Wade Georgeson in 19 and Mark Matlock in 20th. And that is the entire field as we get rolling here. Loads of cars going through the final sector, trying to find their positions. The fans coming through, yelling their names. Vamos, Enrique. Ready to go. John, welcome. Huggins Racing back for some Adam King love. The King of Kings. Some Muffet fans. And Ryan Easton coming in for some Wade support. Alrighty, let's get rolling here. Coming through the end of the track. Everybody get your belts and suspenders tightened up, ready to go for some action. Ooh-wee. Look at all those cars on the field. An absolutely phenomenal grid of cars here. As we get ready to get things going. Oh my goodness. What? Oh my goodness. We already have a situation and we haven't even started yet. Sometimes people, I don't know what to say. Oh, okay. Well, Russ O'Connor, William Day, not having any of those problems, but I guess here we are, rounding the final corner. Dale Rodman, thank you so much for the prime sub, you absolute legend. And we're green, go. Looks like William Day gets a fantastic start. So does Russ O'Connor, going through, trying to gap the rest of the field. Cody Wasem up into third place, looking to make a move. Not quite there. Two Trackalicious cars, the red and the blue of Cody Wasem and Josh Willis. They are trying to fight for position, and it looks like we do have the likes of our timing charts send us all over the place. What is going on? We didn't even click on things, and we're now back there. Timing charts again, just doing their best to update to understand where things are. Looks like Russ O'Connor did get away really well up into P1. William Day now having to struggle a little bit, having to look behind him as Cody Wasem looking for a charge. Cody Wasem also having to worry about the likes of Josh Willis just behind him, all battling for position. Looks like the P2 field looking pretty decent overall, other than that initial incident. But how are we looking for the GT3 field? Jordan Smith looks like he's by his lonesome. Not quite sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does look like he is ahead of the rest of the field. Curtis Rederath in P2 probably, and looks like Peter Lattis in P3 here. An absolutely phenomenal start for Russ, for the fans in chat, and that was a great start indeed. But it's not how you start the race, Luke Wallace, it is how you finish it. And we have an hour of racing to go, a whole hour, and we have a pit stop for sure coming for these drivers, as the fuel is limited to 60% for the GT3s and 100% for the LMPs, which will mean that they are mandated to pit at some point in time. But Russ O'Connor not quite worried about that right now, just looking ahead trying to build a gap to William Day. William Day is still charging, trying to find the pace. He had the pace in quali and still trying to find that back in the race here today. Russ O'Connor pedal to the metal in the back straight, and a stream of LMP2s following up. Got the likes of Josh Willis, Brandon Vincent Squibb losing out a couple positions, I believe, as he was in P3 or P2 in qualifying. And that's not going to be what he is going to be looking for. He's going to be looking to move ahead, and we had a similar situation in the previous race, dropping down a little bit. But I know that he's going to be looking ahead for sure for the remainder of the race, trying to find moves to get himself all the way up top. Couple of positions. Not too bad a spot to be in right now. Just got to settle in and find the pace for Brandon Vincent Squibb. Jacob Cunningham, our last season's championship winner in P5, I believe, as our timing charts are really all over the place. And I really do hope this does settle down and give me some real numbers, because our overlay is looking good. Not really. Morgan Stringer showing in P1 right now, so hoping for an update on our timing charts so we can see an actual. There we go. Russell Connor getting himself up into P1 on the charts. Has a Ferrari to deal with. I believe that's the likes of Andrew Pickerel. What is going on? O'Connor showing his intention with the headlights, saying, I don't know if you know this, I'm coming through whether you like it or not. Russ does manage to make his way through Pickerel, giving him ample space, and now comes William Day making it through quite easily, maybe closing up the gap between himself and Russ, and that is a half a second interval between the two, 0.6 between the two, and we'll keep following that through the rest of the race. We have, I believe, some close fighting around here, but that just looks like it's a GT3 being passed by a bundle of LMP2s. Andy Sharp here, having started in P7, he's pretty close to where he started, and looks like he's doing okay right now, looking for some positions in the cars ahead of Jacob Cunningham, Brandon Vincent Squibb, and Josh Willis, all in a pack there. So there is opportunity, hopefully through traffic, for Andy Sharp. Sharp having made a phenomenal recovery drive in the previous race. Yeah, it was really nice to see. Unfortunately, got into an incident earlier on in the race in lap 1, tapped by another class, I believe it was, potentially, or it was an LMP2 that actually knocked into him, dropped him all the way down behind the GT3, got back all the way up into P6, P5. Phenomenal recovery drive for the streamer El Taco Man, aka Andy Sharp. What else we have going on? Bronson Turner just back there into Stooch Racing LMP2, chasing down Glenn Pino. Pino having figured out a way to get ahead of some of these drivers, but looks like Bronson does have some pace in hand, trying to find moves ahead as they go through to high-speed corner of T1, up the hill there and over into T's 2, 3, and 4 before they make their way into the S's. Bronson looking wide, looking narrow, looking all over the place, trying to find a way through the likes of Glenn Pino. Pino putting out an absolute elbows out defense, ensuring that the car is as wide as possible. Huggins Racing demanding for more Adam King action. Huggin, you can make me do it by doing a redeem. We actually have a redeem in chat. If you want to redeem a full onboard lap with your favorite driver, or redeem a livery review, we can hop on board with your favorite driver. As of right now, we will go look at Adam King, but Randy Gross chasing down the likes of Kamal Kaitazovich in the Mustang, just ahead, less than half a second between the two, and he does have the likes of Steven G. Tomazic just behind, less than half a second. These three tip to tail, practically going through halfway, about pretty close to the top of the grid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th for Gross, 9 for Kamal. Benjamin Smalling up ahead, a little bit down the road, a couple seconds between this pack over here, but effectively 9, 10, 11 here, as 11 being Tomazic, also behind, being chased down by Ashley Forster and actually, if I believe, is driving with a controller and doing a pretty good job at it at this point in time. Glenn Penio looks like has come into a situation falling behind. Nope, timing chart's updating. I do apologize. Back into the group here as we do have the likes of Joe Harkness trying to look ahead. Harkness chasing down Ashley Forrester. The Britain trying to defend and still make moves up ahead to Mazik. Gross. Kamal Kajtazovic holding up the train here effectively, putting down some good laps. Kamal looking pretty quick, almost fastest of the bunch, 20.3 to Gross's 20.5 to Mazik, and Forrester's exact lap of 20.28. Phenomenal. And a 20.24 by Harkness just behind. These folks are superly equal paced as I try to find my words halfway through saying them. We do have battles up ahead though. Josh Willis now trying to make his way through some lapped traffic, but is being chased down with the likes of Brandon Vincent. Squibb right in the wing of Josh Willis. Is this going to be the lap where Vincent Squibb gets the draft that he's looking for, gets Josh's car to punch a hole through the air and allow him to catch up? It looks like Josh is going to get a tow of his own. Oh, we do have some damaged cars there, unfortunately. That's a great question, Huggins Racing. Who is everyone's favorite driver as we do go around and look for Adam King? Adam King actually has been in an incident and is now behind all of the GT3 drivers. That is quite unfortunate for Adam King, all the way down into P19 of 21 drivers. But he did have the pace, and he's going to be looking to make moves forward for sure. It is going to be a minute until he gets himself through the GT3 field and back up to where the LMP2s are, but I'm sure he's going to be doing his darndest to get up there. We got some Muff fans in the house. Justin Muffet here driving. Where is the Muff Man? The Muff Man? The Muff Man, who lives on Road Atlanta? I am completely blinded. But I think I'm mistaken because Muffet is driving a GT3. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, it looks like he may have left the server. That is really, really unfortunate. A couple people, or maybe we're just not finding him. It's taking a second to. This is really unfortunate. I hope there's a solution to this. Let's try to find these cars. Wade Georgeson has been found. Will Brunner has been found. But it does look like Muffet and Rogers are out, unfortunately, for dark. Them be fighting words, Huggins Racing. Alrighty, looks like we got Penio still being chased down by the likes of Bronson Turner. I mean, saying with due respect is the same as saying no offense and then insulting someone's mom, but ultimately it's still offensive. Alrighty, folks. This is the closest battle in the field as it stands right now. Bronson Turner trying to find some magic. Glenn Penio saying I'm going through. Looks like Bronson getting really close in the first sector here as they go through T2. three and looking for an opportunity, but it's got to be the straight, you would think. Using every bit of the track. Paid for it, might as well use it. So you go, girl. Good racing from these two so far. Turner being patient, knows that it is a long race ahead as we have a magical Lamborghini show up. Really want to see what this looks like from the viewpoint of the driver behind. Let's go have a look. Turner looking for grip in the final corners and seems to be having a hard time finding it in the front. Carrying great speed through T1. Huge gain through to Glenn Pino, and now we're looking at some lap traffic. This might come into the equation here, causing a situation. Visa Racing, unfortunately, there are not. Despite our best efforts, we just can't seem to find any women who want to race. Would you happen to be... Huggins, you are absolutely toxic. Would you, Weeza, happen to be a female? At least not that I'm aware of. I don't think we have any women in the grid here today. And that looks like that might have been... No, not yet. I am looking. Any hypercar action? This is the action. Oh, this is another Stoots Racing car. Looks like there are more things happening. We would absolutely love to have them here, Weeza, if you could lead them our way. We have a fantastic grid already. We had 45 cars start the race today in this mixed class championship. Well, we would love to have more, as there are 0 women currently, as Ethan Reed being chased down by the likes of Matt Hugh and Jacob Cunningham. Cunningham, interestingly, has fallen down the field. It was up there in P5 or 6, I believe, and that has promoted Andy Sharp into 7th. So, and Vincent Squibb into P5. Gambles cheering on the Taco Man with all the taco hype in the chat. Love it. Love to see it. Andy in a bit of an island right now, I believe. No, he is chasing down Brandon Vincent Squibb, who is only half a second ahead. So we can have a look and see what's going on there. We have the Goodyear blimp up in the air. Sharp. Lines looking pretty neat through the S's. Wide entry there over the curb. Drive over as much as possible. Huge speed carried. That's a big gain for Andy Sharp. Now looking a bit threatening. Maybe looking on the inside, making Brandon think about, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What a situation! Quick hands and feet by Andy Sharp, able to avoid the situation, and that is a position change. Unfortunate for Brandon Winston Squibb with the GT3 just spinning right ahead of him, but that is a position gain by Andy Sharp, and Sharp telling the GT3 just ahead, is like, hey, we are in the middle of something, you better dang well get out of the way. Absolutely phenomenal. Andy Sharp doing his best ninja maneuver, best I've seen so far. Great job there, and does get the position up into P5 now, chasing down the likes of Josh Willis, 4.5 seconds ahead. Unfortunately for Vincent Squibb, this moving downwards is starting to become a trend, and it's a trend that he's going to want to break. So Vincent Squibb, for sure, going to be looking to make a charge here, going wide around the GT3. Not quite enough for Squibb to make a move, and that is for sure going to be a position locked down for the time being for Andy Sharp, and we'll see how their strategy and how their hands and tire saving works out in the long run. Now we have some battle going on down here. Kajtazovic all the way down here. He was close according to our charts, but now that we look at it, there is not actually anything close by. But we do have the likes of Cunningham chasing down Ethan Reed. Cunningham having oodles of pace over Reed, as Cunningham did qualify much higher, but it must have had an incident of some sort. And now trying to make his way back through the field up into the P9 spot, as Cunningham is working on making those moves. Taco Man driving and giving shout outs apparently while driving. Look at all that extra time that he has while his quick hands and feet react. All that slow-mo matrix stuff that Andy Sharp does is doing a good job of managing chat and driving. Sim Gaming Expo, welcome. Hope you're doing well. We are here in our second round of the iRacing Championship Mixed Class LMP2 GT3. 18 minutes into our 1 hour race. One pit stop coming up. It isn't mandated, but the fuel that these folks are carrying is gonna make them absolutely have to pit stop. 60% fuel for the GT3s, 100% fuel for the LMP2s, and that means that these folks are gonna have to stop. Whether they take tires or not is completely their decision, but we're gonna watch and see what happens. How's it going? How are you doing tonight? How is the expo coming along? For those that don't know, the Sim Racing Expo is happening in September, I believe, in Chicago. And we have the man himself in chat, here to represent, here to shout out. Bring in Sim Racing to the masses. Luke Wallace apparently attending the expo. Luke, do you live nearby, or is that going to be a big travel for you? Cunningham still chasing down the likes of Ethan Reed. Ethan Reed maybe not having the pace, but having enough to make Cunningham stay behind, and that is absolutely phenomenal. Fly me over from Amsterdam. Gables, you should try walking. See if that helps, or bike. Use your bicycle. You guys have the largest ratio of bicycle to population ratio. So have you tried that? Have you thought about biking over here to North America or across the Atlantic Ocean? Chris McNichol fan coming in chat. SGR Daytona, welcome. First time chatter. Hope you're doing well. Where is McNichol? Actually, Chris has been a phenomenal performer in the past. As we continue to view the Cunningham Challenge, McNichol actually just ahead of this duo, running in some free air, 3 seconds ahead, 5 seconds behind, and the battle going on between Ethan Reed and Jacob Cunningham actually helping McNichol out. Cunningham right on the tail of Reed, and Reed still doing a phenomenal job. That's actually brought the likes of Matt Hugh into the equation. Hugh having a look. Not quite yet. I sound like I'm looking fine tonight. Well, I'm sure my wife would really appreciate that comment. I do feel fine, Zach. I do feel quite fine. I can show you guys what I'm wearing, actually. If you guys want to see, we can. While this battle continues to happen, Jacob Cunningham still chasing down the likes of Ethan Reed. This is the closest battle in the field. There are some others happening. Now Cunningham may have a bit of overlap. Reed goes defensive. Cunningham breaking deep on the outside, now turning into the inside, and that might be the move. done for the like of Jacob Cunningham. Cunningham gets that move done. Now the problem for Reed is that there's a Matt Hugh just behind, really challenging for that position. Hugh right there now. Reed losing one position. Is this going to be another one? He had put an incredible defense against the super speedy Jacob Cunningham, so I expected this going to be not as easy as one might expect for Matt Hugh to try and get through Reed, putting up phenomenal defense, and is going to continue to do so. And that is P10 for Reed. And I don't know about you guys, but you know, I like the 10 position. You know, it's something that I fight for. I fight for 10, I fight for 5, I fight for top 3. Really these special numbers that aren't necessarily winning numbers, but there's something about being in top 10. There's something about being in top 5. There's something about being on the podium, and all these positions that you fight for are absolutely super fun. And while we have just more battling all over the place, let's try to see what's going on with the likes of Harkness. Harkness looked like he had some pretty close deltas, but as our timing charts update, it says no, not really. Forrester, though, being challenged by a little gaggle of cars here with Kamal Kajtazovic apparently just ahead, but it does not look like it. Kajtazovic actually 1.8 seconds ahead of this group here, as he was the leader of the train, now having separated himself a bit. It looks like Kieran Davidson a little worse for wear with no front end on that McLaren, as the LMP2's coming through, trying to make it through cleanly and quickly, not being held up by the GT3s. I'm sure these are eager cars to get through, as the number 16 does make his way through. Not quite sure who that is. Maybe that's the P16 car. It's not Andy Sharp. Sharp is P5 right now, I believe. We're 23 minutes in, and these cars still battling. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! That was an impressive avoidance by Ross O'Connor stomping on the brakes, trying to make sure that he doesn't get hit by the car ahead. If we know how to do the replays here, that would be absolutely fantastic. Go back and look at what just happened. We're going to do it the ugly way, but I do want to see what happened. I actually want to see it from the cockpit view, because that was unbelievable. O'Connor's hands rivaling that of Andy Sharp. Oh my, that is no, he couldn't avoid it, but manages to stay alive, bumping and banging. Oh wow, that was a close call, almost the end for Ross O'Connor, but manages to stay alive. He's gonna have a bit of a challenge ahead of him. Code Brown indeed, Zach, absolutely, but again, does manage to stay alive. Fantastic awareness by O'Connor, and does manage to keep that P1 7 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and that could have been his undoing, but it was not. We're glad we caught that one. Now let's go back and look at that gaggle of cars. It looks like it was the likes of Kieran Davidson, I apologize, that is the may have been the reason for that incident there, is being in the train with Joel Bandera. Bandera chasing down Ashton Forster. All of these cars, well, the likes of Bandera and Kieran Davidson carrying quite a bit of damage. I'm not quite sure if Davidson knows that he's missing half a car there, or a quarter of a car, but is gonna be challenged further, as there are some cars coming in from behind. Harkness in the purple Mercedes, sniffing, coming through. We have Bandera supporting the Consport skier. Bandera, looks like that was a mistake from the likes of Ashley Forster. Bandera making it through, Kieran Davidson making it through, and that is going to be positions gained and secured. And here we have it. There might have been a contact, as we get potentially some complaints through some photonic communication from the GT3s behind. And while we have some breathing room, do we have breathing room? No, we do not. Cody Wasson being challenged by the likes of Josh Willis. The two TRACKILICIOUS LMP2 liveries looking hot on track. Absolutely phenomenal. P3, P4 here for Wasson and Willis. The dynamic duo, the management team. Wasson having to deal with the traffic here. Might be an opportunity for Willis. Willis trying to be smart, not take his buddy out, but still does want the position. Wasson does make it through. Willis does make it through, and they are as close as ever. But a couple of tenths of a second between the two. Again, having to deal with traffic now in not the most ideal of places. Going through corners with traffic. Slowing down might be an opportunity for Josh Willis to make a move. It does. Looks on the inside, and there you have it. Josh Willis being opportunistic. Oh my God, there's side-by-side contact. Cody Wasson manages to save it. Unbelievable. The hands of the drivers on the field today are unreal. Quick reactions by Cody Wasson, managing to survive a bit of a bump. I don't know if there was anything malicious there, but oh, the situation coming on absolutely wild that Cody Wasson was able to hold that and live to die another day. Cody Wasson survived and now finally trying to make his way through the GT3s and chase back and catch up to Josh Willis. Wow, unbelievable. I cannot believe that did just happen. And we do have a redeem here of Wade Georgeson. Wade in the Mustang coming through here as that action does subside, so we do have some time. Let's go into the cockpit view of Wade coming through the final chicane here, going through the final corner of turn 12. The fast right-hander, incredibly scary if you understeer. Not a very pretty sight on the left side of the track there for you. And he going through the start-finish line, going into T1 here at Road Atlanta. Pretty decently mid-speed corner, trying to find the throttle under control. Does manage to get back up on the hill. Stay to the left-hand side. Find yourself in T2, T3, T4, riding down the hill into the S's here for Georgeson. Does manage to get an apex there, almost an apex there. Misses that one, tries to find the curb, cuts the curb pretty hard, and then carries the speed onto the outside. A little bit more room there, Wade. Can carry more speed as he lets the LMP2 through of Josh Willis, and I'm sure he's probably got Cody Wasson coming up behind him as he tries to navigate his way through turn 6 and turn 7 as we go wide for Georgeson, trying to stay narrow and away from the action of the LMP2s, not be a situation for them, trying not to be a wrecking ball as he goes through the rear straight here into T9. Apparently this is a corner folks in the S's aren't, and going down the hill through T9 and going into the chicane here, T10 A and B, again added a little while ago, because before that you were carrying absolutely insane amounts of speed down through the hill and into the final corner of turn 11 and 12 here, and that is a lap on board with Wade Georgeson just for you, Ryan Eason. There you go. And that's what you get, folks. Look at your redeems. Look at the points that you have accrued watching the stream here at TRACKILICIOUS Sim Racing. Thank you so much, Sim Racing Expo. Really appreciate it. We do our best. Always room to improve, as the folks can tell you. Last week was quite rough. But hey, we live and we learn. Cunningham now managing some traffic himself and chasing down his buddy Sievers. More grip going on the inside. The wise move by Cunningham. And see his buddy just ahead, 2.7 seconds. Halfway through the race now. We start expecting to see the pits potentially for those who are considering taking tires. And now let's see if we can find some more action. Kieran Davidson looks like is side by side with Bandera, going down the hill into the final section. Final sector, I should say. Kieran, no front end, but no problem. And that is position gain ahead of the consummate car of Joel Bandera. Are these two now coming into the pits to try and get that fast repair underway? and try and get some positions back. Let's see what else we can find here on the grid as our timing charts flicker on and flicker off. Looks like we have the likes of Andy Sharp all the way up into P3. Not quite sure whether that's an actual position game, but look at the variety of cars just in this one scene. Cars coming in and out of view, LMP2s, GT3s, and people trying to make their way through. Looks like we have the likes of Andy Sharp chasing down 10 seconds to William Day of P2 position. Brandon Vincent Squibb, though, up into P4. Again, it's probably a result of some pits happening, but Brandon Vincent Squibb for sure looking to make moves ahead, for sure looking for an opportunity to overtake the likes of Andy Sharp, as Andy Sharp did to him before. This racing is phenomenal, and looks like Vincent Squibb is right there. Sharp going defensive, maybe trying to use some traffic. Vincent Squibb right there decides the better of it, backs off, and chooses to fight in the next coming corners. Continues to apply pressure, and I think that's the likes of Matt Hugh over there just ahead. A lap down potentially. Could be, but Andy Sharp now, P3, being chased down by Vincent Squibb, is going to want to make quick work of the LMP2 ahead. I'm sure there's going to be some photonic suggestion and motivation coming his way very, very soon, because I don't think that's William Day. It's definitely not William Day, as William Day of P2 is 10 seconds ahead of the likes of Andy Sharp and Vincent Squibb. Brandon Vincent Squibb, that is. Sharp enjoying the draft that he's getting, though. Well, there it is. There's the universal I'm coming through whether you like it or not. But I don't think he's going to give that position that easily. Who is that? Let's get over and have a look. It might be Pinio. Nope, it's not Pinio. Yeah, it is Matt Hugh. Matt Hugh. Ooh, really putting Sharp into a situation here. Yeah, 14th Matt Hugh, as we originally guessed. Ooh, looks like we do have a bit of flustered reaction from Sharp going off just a little bit. Sharp under immense amounts of pressure as they go through the GT3 of who I believe to be Andrew Pickerel. Andy Sharp, Andrew Pickerel, and Brandon Vincent Squibb here, all in the equation. But the heavy part of the equation, the left side of the equation, of all of which it equates to, is Matt Hugh here not giving way and really putting Andy Sharp under pressure. Andy previously done a phenomenal job getting past the likes of Brandon Vincent Squibb in a similar scenario, but is this the opportunity that Squibb's going to be looking to reverse the roles? Sharp, phenomenal strategic move. If you are in traffic trouble, just pit. Get yourself out of the way. You have the pace. I really love that move. Good job, Andy Sharp. Goupil, where are you and what are you doing? Chasing down the likes of Will Brunner in the Mustang just ahead. Overall, P30 and 31 for these two. Brunner being the car ahead. Goupil, a.k.a. Cafbo, a.k.a. Crow. Longtime member of the TRACKILICIOUS community. In that lovely looking Porsche. All right, this is the lull I was waiting for. So you guys asked, well, Erica, what are you wearing? Well, I could show you. I can show you, friends. Here we go. I'm wearing the first TRACKILICIOUS shirt that we ever made. This is a special edition, and it actually is iRacing related. We got the TRACKILICIOUS, and in the back here, if I can turn myself around, not ruin anything, we got the boys winning the Bathurst event. Big old champs. Not me. Just for the record, as if any one of you guys were going to be confused by that one. But yeah, guys won the Bathurst 12 hours, and I was really excited for a phenomenal performance that was put out by the team, so we made a shirt out of it. First shirt we made here at TRACKILICIOUS. Super fun. Alrighty, that's enough of me. Let's get back to the commentary. Yeah, solid back. All that kid carrying that I do. 4 kids, a lot of kid carrying. Makes for a strong back. Alrighty, Goupil pitting. Chase, what's up? Chase, why are you not in the race today, bud? Look at this. Look at what is going on. We got so much entertainment and excitement. Then we got the likes of Cunningham chasing down his buddy, Brad Seaver. Seaver's just ahead. Likely in the red LMP2 there. Yep, absolutely. This is Squibb now in the pits. And we actually have William Day. Oh, no. William Day was showing ahead of Ross O'Connor, but Ross is actually in P1 on a vacation, and yet decides to join the stream. Dedicated member of the TRACKILICIOUS community, Peter Lattis, here now looking for positions himself, looking for a positioning from Joseph Widener, just up ahead in the yellow Ferrari as the LMP2s come through. Is that going to be an opportunity to slow down Joseph? Looks like the Porsche is tucking in behind the likes of the LMP2s to try and get some draft, and that is going to be a super ideal scenario for the likes of Peter Lattis. Widener right there now. Adam King in the LMP2 coming through, trying to make quick work of these two, not get involved, and does so. Huggins Racing, if you know Adam King that well, then you must live in Michigan. And if you do live in Michigan, I do have something for you. For those that are around, we are hosting a Cars and Cones with a local ice cream shop called Gillies in Eurotics, Detroit, coming together for some nice cars and ice cream. 2 of my favorite things. Gillies actually putting together a special for the day, the Biscoff Revgato, an affogato with a Biscoff cookie. So Huggins Racing, if you like you some Adam King, and if you like you some ice cream nearly half as much as you like you some Adam King, then you should come hang out. It is on June 29th at noon in Troy. I feel like Huggins Racing, I feel like +1 is a bit too distant. You should be his +half. Peter Lattis chasing down the Ferrari. Yep. Missouri comes right after Michigan. Alphabetically, that is. No, it's actually Mississippi. And we do have the likes of Peter Lattis chasing down Joseph Widener, still trying to get that position. One of few battles on track. Let's go over and have a look. It actually is Rick Wolf chasing down Glenn Pinio. These are actually battles for position. Rick Wolf being overtaken. Whoa! No! Just makes the mistake. Throttle too early. The ICE, man. Unfortunately, a bit too much throttle on the exit there, and that is positions lost for Rick Wolf. Glenn Pinio and Jeff Dallas go through. Jeff Dallas now up ahead. Now to P14, chasing down the likes of Glenn Pinio. Glenn in the 99 car, looking for improvement still. 6 seconds ahead is Travell Ike chasing down the likes of Morgan Stringer. Oh no! Stringer himself making a mistake, and that is going to be the opportunity for Travell to come through. Is that going to be excuse me. You know, usually it's pretty tough to do these one-person streams, but we have had so much action going on that we're already 42 minutes in the blink of an eye. Time flies when you're having fun, and Joseph K, 17, here to join the entertainment. Welcome, Joseph. Hope you're doing well. What do you play? What do you main? What do you stream? Where do you ride? Where do you call home? What's your favorite car? What's your favorite track? Do you like long walks on the beach? The types of questions that we get intimate with here at TRACKILICIOUS. Chris McNichol up into P8, battling with Bronson Turner. Turner has been in action. IndyCar and Lotus 79 for Sim Racing Expo. I don't know what race car that I like, my favorite race car of all time, but I can tell you my favorite car of all time, McLaren F1 LM road version, the orange one. Must have one. SGPR Patty supporting brethren Chris McNichol up into P8, being chased down by Bronson Turner. Turner, a winner of previous races here at TRACKILICIOUS Sim Racing in the GT3s, now in the LMP2, trying to find his place. And currently his place is behind Chris McNichol. 7/10 behind, to be exact. Sievers chasing down, being chased down by the likes of Jacob Cunningham. These friends. A fun fact requested by Zach. Ooh. Well, interestingly enough, Road Atlanta is not actually in Atlanta proper. It is just outside of Atlanta on the northeast side, about 30 minutes away, if I remember correctly. And it's in a town called Braselton, Georgia. There is your fun fact. Home of the famed Petite Le Mans. 10 hours, 1,000 miles. And a race that I've actually attended. Super fun. Loved it. One of my favorite races that I've ever been to. Cunningham makes quick work of Sievers. And now looking ahead, William Day 37 seconds ahead, though, is going to be a tall order to make any more moves. However, let's go check in on the race leader, Ross O'Connor. Looking pretty, looking comfy. And in the distance, you do see you're wild, Huggins Racing. You are wild. Road Braselton doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. No. Yeah. Not quite. William Day, P2. Josh Willis in P3 here. What happened to Cody Wasson? What did happen to Cody Wasson? Don't see him anywhere. That is really odd. Cody Wasson in P13. I believe that might be, again, is that a pit situation? I'm not quite sure. Ah, no, that's his. Oh yeah, Wasson had to pit twice. Maybe he didn't click on fuel or something. So did Andy Sharp. So did Adam King. Sharp must have made a mistake of some sort. Oh, these three are actually racing. Oh my goodness. Adam King chasing down Andy Sharp and Cody Wasem. Wasem and Sharp in a battle right now. Coming through some traffic. You jean shorts guys in Gaming Expo? Is it frayed in the bottom as well? Go old school 80s. Skies out, thighs out. Huggins Racing. It's going to be our new motto for the cars and cones. Skies out, thighs out. so many comments, Huggins, but I'm gonna refrain as the commentator here, trying to stay professional for the likes of Sim Racing, Sim Gaming Expo in here. Trying to be professional here. Although we like to engage in the lightheartedness and the friendly behaviors and the friendly community here at TRACKILICIOUS Sim Racing, for those that are looking to join us, do come into our Discord. We do hang out. We do dabble in some sim racing and other stuff. Then we get serious. Just like Cody Wasem is here. Wasem making his way through P9 of Matt Hugh. Sorry, that's not Matt Hugh. That's Morgan Stringer. I apologize. There you have it. Let's have a look. Some battles going on. We do have the likes of Cisco Rodriguez chasing down Curtis Radarath in that BMW. Cisco Rodriguez within a half a second of Curtis. Curtis, as the sun goes down, the lights come up. And the BMW chasing down the McLaren finds a bit of pace there. Now right up there behind the McLaren. The size difference is phenomenal between the BMW and the McLaren. Huge! BMW chasing down the likes of that McLaren. Right there, trying to make it happen. Now it looks on the outside. McLaren having to go narrow. Radarath compromising his lines. Oh, Cisco maybe a bit too eager. Should have been a bit more patient, taking a more ideal line onto the back straight here. But the likes of Cisco Rodriguez does have the draft. Is it going to be enough to make the move work? Getting closer and closer and closer. LMP2 not going to be coming into the equation, a bit too far. So it's going to be one-on-one here, going into the braking zone, downhill braking zone. Looks like Radarath does nail that braking point. He managed to pull ahead actually a little bit. So some gap to the likes of Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez will be continuing to battle and try and find himself some pace, optimize his lines, try to find the perfect time to make the move. It is one thing to have pace. It is yet another thing to have racecraft. Those are two completely separate things. Pace does help the racecraft, but the racecraft is something that you have to learn, something you have to be really good at to be a successful driver, especially in these multi-class situations, and even more so in endurances where you get a complete mixed bag of cars on track. Pace difference, class difference, car difference, performance difference, absolutely unbelievable and it looks like the likes of Cisco Rodriguez still chasing down Curtis Rederath as the LMP2s come through. Josh now in the middle of these two. Josh trying to find his way through as quickly as possible. Is he chasing someone down? No, that other car is likely Morgan Stringer, who is well behind Josh Willis, so probably a lap situation. But what is not a lap situation is Curtis Rederath being chased down by Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez right there, and has been for a little over a lap now, looking for an opportunity to optimize his lines and get close enough to make a move, close enough to threaten Rederath, close enough to give him pressure, make him make a mistake. All these things can happen, but are not happening right now. Curtis Rederath maintaining really good control, sometimes finding pace in certain sections of the track to pull away from Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez not having the magic just yet, but you do have 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the race for the likes of Cisco Rodriguez to find yet another move to get himself up into the podium of the GT3s, as that's where Rederath is sitting. Jordan Smith in P1, Jose A. Sierra in P2, and then we have the likes of Curtis Rederath in P3, threatened by the likes of Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez still there, still looking. We have an LMP2 coming through. That looks like Randomness and Squib in P4 for the LMP2s. Quite a bit of gap to Josh Willis. Josh Willis 5 seconds ahead, I believe, of this pack, and that's kind of good for Willis, not so good for Winston Squibb. Squibb was actually looking threatened to be moving farther down the grid, but seems to have done a good job of staying in fourth. Actually, he started off in third. Now that I can see where my positions gained and lost are, and that is +5 for Curtis Rederath, +9 for Cisco Rodriguez, +13 for Benjamin Smalling, who's just behind. And when I say just behind, he's quite a bit. He's 5 seconds behind the likes of Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez still having a hard time finding any pace of game between himself and Curtis Rederath. Rederath doing a phenomenal job of staying ahead, and has to do so for another 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Not a lot of time for this 1 hour long race. Rodriguez, why don't we hop on board with him and have a look what magic looks like, if we can find anything. It looks like Rederath is getting farther away from him, and that's how you find apexes or apices, folks. You hear that? Hits the left, hits the right, hits the left, hits the right. Those are what apexes sound like, not the silence that some of our other drivers have been experiencing. But Rodriguez now facing a bit of understeer on the exit there, a bit of understeer on the entry here, and that's not going to be ideal. That you want to maximize the exit of that corner, absolutely the most important corner of the entire track, as it is the longest straight just after. And look at how much time he loses here because of that error, because of the slow entry. You get a slow exit and you lose all the way down the line, and there you have it. Cisco Rodriguez falling back, farther back, the likes of Curtis Rederath, and Rederath will love seeing that, as he likely has 3 more laps to go, probably 4 more laps to go. I apologize, it's probably 4 more laps, and here we have it, 1 of 4 laps, and we are definitely on the tightest battle that we have in the field, the only real battle, as, oh my goodness, mistake made. That was potentially the opportunity for Rodriguez. Rederath making more mistakes. Rodriguez going on the outside. Now the inside. Is this going to be it? Is he going to have enough gusto to make it move? And Rodriguez does make it through. Rederath makes a mistake just minutes before the end of the race. And that is a podium for Cisco Rodriguez. It's not done yet, though, folks. We still have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And that's likely 3 laps. Is he going to be able to make it back? Is Rodriguez going to be able to handle the pressure? Now he's up into the podium place. Is that going to be for sure? As Jacob Cunningham comes through these two. Rodriguez, does he have the pace? Was Rederath struggling? Was he holding him up? He seemed to have decent pace, so if Rederath is able to clean it up a little bit for the next couple of laps, he's going to be able to put some serious pressure on the likes of Cisco Rodriguez. The closest battle on track right now, and only 4 minutes remaining in the race. What is going to happen? Is Rodriguez going to have anything to answer back for the mistake that was made, for the overtake that happened? Rodriguez ahead, Rederath trying his best what is gonna happen. Let's hop on board with Red Rats and see if there's any opportunity. See how clean his lines are. See if he is gonna do the deed. Is indeed quite close. Looking for the apices, as we said earlier. Rodriguez going quite wide, maximizing the usage of the track. LMP2 coming through. That's a pretty bad spot for Rodriguez. Rederath right there. Go having a look. A bit of a wiggle on exit. Rederath does have the toe from the LMP2. Rodriguez has the toe from the LMP2. Rederath has the toe from Rodriguez. He is gaining. Go side by side. On the outside, Rederath is ahead by a nose. Leaves the inside, regains the inside now as they turn right. Rederath is now fully ahead. Gains the position back with only a couple of laps to go. What phenomenal racing between these two. Unbelievable. Rederath gets his podium position back, but it's not over yet. We still have a couple of more laps to go. Rodriguez's turn to make the move now. Focus up. See if there's anything left in the tank for the two. 1 hour in practically, and these folks are tip to tail. Phenomenal racing between the two. Oh my goodness, Rodriguez right there, closing up. Rederath will now have his heart beating at an insane rate. The pressure is unbelievable. These two still battling, and we do have more battles. Glenn Pino, Jeff Dallas, Chris McNichol, Ethan Reed, but I think we want to stay here. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! All that excitement. We inflated. We tried, and it came literally crashing down. Not done yet, as we do have the likes of Andy Sharp and Cody Wassam battling. No, that's Jeff Dallas. Wass making his way ahead. Oh no, you hate to see it. But it was quite entertaining while it lasted. What a battle. Sad days for Rederath as Rodriguez maintains looking pretty. Oh, that was sad. I'm sad, folks. I am sad. So close. Well, hopefully they're going to enjoy watching that back because they did quite a good job. Well, let's have a look here. Do we have something going on between Vincent Squibb and Josh Willis? I don't think so. I think it's just our timing charts tricking us a little bit. We do have Jordan Smith leading the race. We haven't talked about Jordan Smith much. Has done quite a good job in the past. Cisco Rodriguez currently in P2, and Ben Smalling in P3. And there you have it, folks. Apologize about missing the finish there. Oh, actually, I think the no, they finished as well. The LMP2s did finish. Ross O'Connor taking home the win. Absolutely phenomenal. William Day in P2, Josh Willis in P3. Then you have the likes of Jordan Smith, P1, Cisco Rodriguez in P2, Benjamin Smalling in P3. as everybody starts driving through the start finish line. And what a disappointment not to have that battle all the way to the end. Unfortunately for Redarath, just the slightest error for Curtis. What he should have done is not quit. There's still a whole rack of points to be had. And those who are friends with Ross O'Connor, with William Day, with Josh Willis, with Jordan Smith, Cisco Rodriguez, Benjamin Smalling, please have them come into the stream room. We would love to have a quick interview with them. Well, folks, there you have it. Excuse me. Let's try to get try to see if we can get these folks in here. Oh, Discord, where art thou? All right, we got Ross O'Connor, we got Jordan Smith, we got Benjamin Smalling, we got Josh Willis. We're missing two more people, William Day and Cisco Rodriguez. If you could hear us, I would love for you guys to come in. Josh, let's start with you with the P3 and the LMP2 class. How was that race for you? It looked like you had a couple situations here and there, but overall, a pretty good performance. 1 second, Josh. I don't think your voice is coming through. Let's fix that. Why? Is his voice coming through? Can you guys hear Josh? Josh, say hello. No, I do not think it's coming through. Let's see if we can quickly get that fixed. I apologize. No problem. Thanks for hopping in, Sim Gaming Expo. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Have a great night. Okay. Let's try that again, Josh.
Hello, everyone.
There we go. We have voice. So
Perfect.
Josh, yeah, tell us, how was that race for you?
It was a great race. Had a really good start. Had to take it real easy with these new tires on the first lap, but I was able to pick a few, and then just settled in. Was just kind of hoping to follow until we got to the traffic. We got to traffic really fast. I take it there was a big incident with the GT3 field, and then just bided my time until I could get around Cody, and then just settled into the race.
Yeah, the move on Cody was quite an opportune one for you.
It definitely was, and I bounced the curb, so we'll see what might come out of that. But he kept it on track at least, from what I saw.
His save was probably like top 3 of the entire race. It was absolutely phenomenal.
He'll need to put that one on the pass or save of the week for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, congratulations on the P3. Great job. Let's go to P3 on the GT3 class. Benjamin, how was the race for you? We didn't cover you much. It seemed like you had a pretty quiet race overall.
Yeah, I had a pretty poor qualifying. I started all the way down in 15th in the GT3 field, but just kept it clean, kept it smooth, and found my way up in 3rd, so I'm happy with it.
Fantastic. Really good recovery drive for you there. So really good championship racking points. Anything else happen of note through your race?
I don't think so. Like Josh said, something happened really early up in the GT3 field, but that was up in front of me. So I gained like 8 spots off lap 1. So that was a big help.
Yeah, for sure. Really nice when Moses opens up the gates and spreads the sea for you to pass through. Well, congratulations, Benjamin. That was phenomenal. And I think, Jordan, you probably had a pretty similar low-key race. Didn't see much of you through the race. Don't think you had much to battle there.
Yeah, it was kind of boring, but I have good pace. I'm quick AF and gonna win again next week.
You know, yeah, just I ooze greatness, you know, no big deal, you know. The Jordan Smith here. Bow down to my superiority, folks. I mean, we can't tell you otherwise right now because you did win the race in your class. So congratulations, Jordan. You get to keep the superior hat today until the next race, and hopefully you're able to continue on that trend. Congratulations on that. And finally, Ross. What a phenomenal performance. Started in P2, but got that P1 right off the bat. And it wasn't an easy race for you. We had you covered quite a few times.
Yeah, I think I was definitely a lot more comfortable on the cold tires than William, but managing traffic, I wasn't too happy with that. I think I killed one of the GT3s, this is a league that everyone does for fun. And I think that was a little bit unacceptable by me. So I do apologize, but no, William, everyone actually on the LMP2 field kept me honest. So definitely was interesting to see what he would do during the pit stop. I think he was saving fuel that first stint, but it was an excellent race.
Yeah. So
well, let me ask you, Ross, did you take tires?
Only left sides.
Only left. Interesting.
Yeah, because then the rights are still hot, so you only lose like 2 seconds a lap.
Interesting.
Little secret.
I like it.
And Josh, he's got about 3K of iRating that helps save his other side tires. So
I took the tires for free, and of course had to baby them in. But I pretty much overshot everybody, so it worked out. Everybody that came out near me was spinning, so I felt like I made the right decision going early and warming up the tires when I had some open air.
Well, Ross, it was phenomenal. And well, I guess with what you're saying, it sounds like, well, at first we thought that the GT3 lost the rear end, but maybe there was some contact there. So I'm sure there's going to be a review in the future should there be an incident be reported there. So, but regardless, I think your pace was phenomenal. You did a great job through the race. And yeah, the whole point of this championship is the traffic, right? And it's something fun for you guys to deal with. And it looks like you guys had quite a bit of it today. Phenomenal performance for those that are here and those that are not. William Day and Cisco Rodriguez. Rodriguez is one that we really wanted in here. Had a phenomenal battle in the last couple of laps. Unfortunately, not going to get to talk to him. But thank you, folks. Appreciate you hopping in here. We're going to find a streamer to raid. And we've already found that. We got El Taco Man, a.k.a. Andy Sharp. Well, maybe we'll get to go in and ask him what happened. He was doing so well and then suddenly dropped down the field to the rear. It had to do 2 pit stops. For those that are out in the Michigan area or the Midwest area, we are going to, let's do this, do exclamation point track day. We're going to Grattan next week, a week from tomorrow, Grattan Raceway. Yeah, it's going to be super fun on June 20th. And then the week after that, on June 29th, we are going to be hosting a Cars and Coffee here in the Metro Detroit area in Troy at Gillies Ice Cream, along with Erotics Detroit. And have a super fun time. Actually going to be bringing the sim into the ice cream shop and have people try the sim out. It's going to be super fun. Hope everybody's able to join, or whoever is close by to join. Zach's going to be coming from Mississippi or Missouri, I think he said. He's walking here, so really, really looking forward to seeing him. For now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Gentlemen, great race. Thank you for putting on a fantastic race for us. I'm Eric Ghoukasian with TRACKILICIOUS, and wherever you are, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Much love to you all. Let's go show some love to El Taco Man, aka Andy Sharp, and let's go give him a hard time about why he had to pit twice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And good night from me. As the raid builds up, we'll send you over.